G'day, Aussie Gridiron fans. Welcome to the G'day Gridiron podcast, Week 11 reaction show. We got a whole bunch of reactions from Aussie fans around the country about their team and everything else. So let's get down to that. G'day, Isaac. How you going, buddy?
Really good. Week 11 was slated as a really good week for games, and it lived up to expectations. It was a great week of football.
It sure was. Absolutely was. We also have with us a returning guest. One of the first times we've got a returning guest, Isaac. It is Matt Patt, our resident Bills fan. How you going, Matt?
Yeah, not too bad, boys. Not too bad.
What a week, mate. What a week of football. I know you would have ingested every single minute of it.
Yep, that I definitely did.
That was good start to finish, I reckon, this week.
Yeah, let's not take the Miami Commanders game into that. That was freaking horrible.
No, I reckon every bit of it was good, thank you. There was always something good to behold.
Oh, mate.
Right down to the Cowboys running all over the Raiders today.
Oh,
I mean, that Miami game was made me hurt even more.
It wasn't great to watch, but there was some fun aspects to, I think, anything Dolphins at the moment. Commanders fans, I know Damien has been, our resident Commanders fan, has been messaging me. He's very, very down. Shout out Damien, just chin up, bud. Let's look forward to next year. But yeah, Dolphins. Anything Dolphins at the moment is, I think, just fun. They're out there having fun now. They don't give a shit.
But the play calling in that game was so bad, so bad.
I think McDaniels knows he's out. I think he knows he's a beaten man, and he's not going to be. There's a very, very high likelihood he's not going to be around next season. And I think he's just throwing anything out there, and the players are still turning up for him, and they're still playing it every single week. So they
just give the ball to A-Chain and just let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, they're just not good. That's the problem. Is they're just not good.
They give the ball to A-Chain until it gets to the goal line, and then they give it to Ollie Gordon.
Feels like all the group chat where it's like Kenneth Walker gets the Seattle Seahawks all the way down the field, and then they give it to Zach Charbonnet to finish.
Yep.
Yep.
Zach Charbonnet, mate. If you get on a fantasy show, pick Zach Charbonnet as your running back. Because that man is not started in over 50% of leagues at all anytime this season. I will guarantee you that. But he's the one getting the points.
I'm just adding him to my notes now.
He's a cheat code, Isaac. He's a cheat code. Yes, you're on a fantasy show this week, aren't you?
I am.
So there you go.
He scored me 11 points, so I'm not happy with him.
That's pretty good. Hey, mate, in starts of the week, 11 points is gold.
Pretty good.
From a running back, that is. Anyway,
I have Cook, so I'm happy.
We have a absolute ton of Aussie fan reactions to go through this week. We've been getting, as I keep saying, every single week. We get more and more every week, and we absolutely love that people are turning up on that post that Isaac has been putting up every single week in the NFL Fans Down Under Facebook group. Shout out to those guys for just continually letting us spam that group with nonsense every single week as well. And of course on our Instagrams, which you find the links to at linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network, both the G'day Gridiron one and the Aussie Gridiron Network one, that post goes up. So we get all these reactions from everywhere, from fans, Aussie fans, and I guess some international ones too. There are a few there, isn't there, mate? There's some non-Australian fans that have been throwing some stuff out to us as well here and there.
I'm not too sure.
I think a couple are, mate. I think a couple are, might be a couple of, like, Brad's brethren over there that are just expats, US expats who are living the high life in Australia after escaping the US. But, so they're still, you can't call them Aussies. Not yet.
Yeah.
Well, we can almost call Brad an Aussie. It might be long enough by now.
I must say that, like you said before, Ian, it's really good that we're getting the reactions in, and I try and reach out to everyone in that puts a reaction up just to let them know about the podcast. And sometimes you get chatting, like that's how we met Jack from a couple of weeks ago. So it's been really good.
Yeah, absolutely it has. Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I get chat with some people. I don't like to DM as much. You love sliding into people's DMs. I just like chatting on the page. So
Yeah, I reply and then I just shoot them a message, see how they're going.
all right, so we have a ton of reactions to go through. Yeah, again, thanks to everyone that's throwing those out there. We'll try and make sure we read out some here and give you a bit of a shout out for that. So hopefully you are listening, and if you are and you hear your stuff read out, make sure you get in and comment in the group again and again every week, because you're really helping us with the content. It helps us sort of drive the show. So let's get down to some reactions. There's some of our own stuff as well. I really wanted to talk about what I think most people might term, Isaac, you might not, but term the game of the week this week. And that, of course, was the most surprising one, which was Chiefs Broncos, Sunday night football. Or Sunday Arvo football, rather, not Sunday night. But that was, I think everyone, we especially, Isaac, when we previewed that game, we thought for sure Chiefs are going to be getting up, coming off the bye. They knew that they were going to have to get in and actually do something with this to save their season. They're not totally gone for their season. They have, after losing to the Broncos this week, they're at 5-5. But I think the most surprising part was we know that the Broncos have been good at winning ugly lately, Isaac. They're now 9-2, a stonking winning streak to take them into their bye. And after the bye, they have an incredibly favourable schedule. I know we all thought the Broncos would do well, but this well, like AFC West champions well, that's pretty high.
Yeah, really good. One little concern for the Broncos now is J.K. Dobbins has gone for the year, which is a bit disappointing because he was having a really good season. They're going to need RJ Harvey to step into those shoes and run with them, if you'll pardon the pun. As for the Kansas City Chiefs, they're sitting in the conference. They're sitting 9th at the moment. The Chargers are 2 games ahead of them. The Broncos are well ahead of them. So it's an uphill battle because below them are the Ravens at the moment with the same record. The Texans are sitting there. The Jaguars could fall off, which means they could sneak into the playoffs. But at the moment, it's going to be a struggle for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it will be too. The really interesting part about this game, and something I forgot to reference when we previewed it last week, was this game last year, essentially, or a game against the Broncos last year, where the Chiefs got to extend their season, and that came off the back of a blocked field goal that would have won the Broncos the game. This year, holy hell, that script totally mirrored itself and flipped right at the end with the Broncos getting that game-winning field goal. I thought for sure that the Chiefs were going to just strike lightning twice the way it was going. Absolutely nuts. Got a couple of reactions from some fans here. I don't know whether Julie Kukos is a Broncos fan, but when you just say "see you Chiefs," you know that you're probably just a fan of football and you're sick of watching the Chiefs dynasty.
I was a very happy man myself watching that game live.
Scott Hempel said, "Hands up if you thought the Broncos would be leading the AFC after 11 weeks. I'm a diehard Broncos supporter, but this was definitely not on my bingo card." I'm pretty sure I said that once or twice during the game too. Like, what the hell is going on here? And shout out to Warren Lee, who I know Isaac's been talking about. Got to watch the Chiefs get rolled by the Broncos live. So that was, what a great shout out there. Yeah, Matt, what a game to sort of finish Sunday with, I guess.
That last 5-6 minutes of that fourth quarter was insane. Watching it live, not live is what Warren was, but live as in just watching it sitting on my couch. I've got a friend who's a diehard Broncos fan, and can't message him during the games because he gets annoyed by it. But I was very happy. The way that Nix was performing and the fact that he was able to hit Sutton, 3 times, 4 times in that last 5, 6 minutes? And the way that Franklin stood up as well was great. Seeing the chemistry between them in college as well, stepping through as well.
Yeah, they've got a really good connection. Nix and Franklin. It's been really good. And just chatting to Warren, he said he's been to an AFL Grand Final, an NRL Grand Final. I think he said something about the World Cup as well. And he said he has never heard anything like when Lutz hit that field goal. He said he's never heard anything like it. He was
Man,
just amazed by it.
Talk about a man living his life.
Tell me
what
about it.
What a list of things to go to.
I can agree with all of them.
Shout out,
bar
Warren.
AFL.
Living your best life, Warren. Love it was.
Well, I think we've converted him as a listener as well. I got chatting to him, and he was the inaugural regional Queensland Irrakandy head coach. So he does some coaching in the space as well, and he's all about promoting the game. And yeah, he'll give it a listen. So shout out, Warren.
Oh, absolutely. We love our locals too. Our local Gridiron. I'm wearing my Defending Australia shirt tonight that Matty C amazingly designed in honour of our great friend Nick Cosme and his Australian O-line. So you can get this on our merch store, by the way. Linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network for the merch store stuff. Yeah, so what an absolute stonking game. And, of course, there was a game that finished Sunday that was, I think, just as good. Eagles-Lions. The Eagles showed a defensive masterclass against the Detroit Lions, who have been known for their offensive schemes and just being absolutely brutal, especially Dan Campbell on offense. But the Eagles held them to just 9 points in total for the entire game. And absolutely took away every single scoring opportunity that the Lions could possibly muster up. Jared Goff was amazingly 14 of 37 for this game, and that is a crazy stat for Jared Goff. Definitely wasn't a great game for someone who is obviously a dome quarterback. Not the greatest conditions for someone it can be called a dome quarterback. But it was all about the Eagles, and it was a defensive masterclass from them, and it's scary that they can come out of a bye and play like this against someone as hot as the Lions, and just kind of get away with it, Isaac.
Yeah, well, we talked a couple of weeks ago about when they did this to Green Bay, when it was Green Bay and Philly, and how it was just a defensive thing, but they're turning their games into that they're playing to their strengths, which is a defense, and they're getting away with it. And everyone probably needs to cool their jets with the Dan Campbell play calling. Everyone was all about it last week when they played bloody Chicago. But this week, the Eagles just showed that their defense wins games. And as we've said here on the pod before, it also wins championships. So, we've got a reaction there. I replied to that, and I said, winning ugly is a skill, and the Eagles have that down to a T.
How much do you reckon that had to do with the weather? Because there was some of those Jared Goff throws that were god-awful.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts had to play in the same weather.
Yeah, that's right. He did. But Jared Goff, I mean, it is a thing. We talked about it last year. Manjot pointed out early last year that Jared Goff was going to go on a bit of a run with he's in domes, and he plays much better in domes. But they've played outdoors this season quite a lot, and he has been great. I think it just came down to the Eagles just stifling anything that they could do at all.
I think one of the big passes that stood out that showed the decline of that game, I believe it might have been second quarter. Goff had plenty of time in the pocket, and it was just a complete miscue of a throw to Amon Ra. It was behind him, couldn't catch it. It was a third down, and it was like, this is not going to go well. And they ended up throwing a whole lot of like screen passes to Gibbs, I believe. Like, he had a lot more receiving yards than what he normally would have.
The
So
Essentially, if you're playing in that weather, though, the Lions are a run-first team. Could
They
they
weren't
not
running.
get any? Could they not get any yards when they were running the ball?
The rookie Jahad Campbell was, I believe they came out the day after, and they were talking about how good he was reading that run game. They
Yep.
shut it down on so many different occasions just by
Okay.
calling it out early.
Yep.
The stat sheet shows where the tail of the game was, though. Like the Eagles, okay, passing attempts 243 for the Lions, 124 for the Eagles. Rushing attempts was 74 for the Lions, 148 for the Eagles. The Eagles had it in that kind of game, that kind of weather. The Eagles
They knew what they were doing.
They hammered the rush, and went away from the pass, which they've been doing all season anyway. But they absolutely hammered the rush, and the Lions with that twin-headed monster in Gibbs and Montgomery should have known to be able to do that and hammer that rush. It should have been a big Monty game. Gibbs ended up as the high rusher at 39 and also the high receiver at 107. So you can tell what kind of a game it was. But also one of the biggest stats I was pulling out of that was the third down efficiency and fourth down efficiency. The Lions were 3 for 13 on third downs and 0 for 5 on fourth down attempts. And we know Dan Campbell loves to go on everywhere on fourth down. And they were 0 from 5 on the night.
The other issue the Lions had was they kept, like, I'm not sure if you saw, did you see how well Mailata was going up against Hutchinson? But when Hutchinson was on Lane Johnson's side, he was coming through every time.
Yeah, but Mailata had him covered on his side.
He had him covered that whole game. They just should have kept him on Lane Johnson's side.
Yeah,
I don't know why they didn't, because he was getting to Hurts and he was getting to the running backs.
So that reaction we had there that you mentioned, Isaac, Andrew Campbell says glass half full. Eagles fans will say 8-2, not remembering that the Eagles were 10-1 and went to absolute shit a few years ago. He's clearly a Lions fan. I just realised when I got to this part of the reaction what the actual fuck is our offense. Is he a Lions fan or an Eagles fan?
I think he's an Eagles fan.
What the actual fuck is our offense? The defense is fantastic. We need a new OC quickly. Okay, yeah, sorry, he's an Eagles fan. Sorry, Andrew. I don't want to tar you with a brush you don't want to be painted with. But yes,
it's the same with both teams, though. Both Eagles and the Lions need a new OC.
Andrew's very right, though, in his assessment there. Eagles fans get on themselves and they get on their team a lot, even when they are winning. But yes, they were 10-1 last year, and it went horribly from that point. 8-2 is not bad, especially considering the league has seen way more parity than we're ever used to. So 8-2 is pretty damn good. The schedule wise, it looks pretty decent for the Eagles going forward. Although any week seems to be a challenge, but they've got the Cowboys next week in Dallas before Bears, Chargers, Raiders, Commanders. So pretty good run for the next 5 weeks, really.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens against Dallas. It could be an explosion on the offense, and then they wouldn't be calling for a new OC. But as I said before, their defense will win them the games, and they know it, and they'll lean on it. They don't need to score 30 points a game. They need to score 16 to win the game.
What was it, 9 the week before?
Yeah, 10 or something, I think.
Yeah, 10-7.
10-7, yeah.
All right, let's talk about the other absolutely stonking game we all witnessed on Sunday, and that, of course, was Buccaneers-Bills. 76 total points for this game. Did Brad pick the under in this?
I can't remember. Probably.
Whoever picked an under for points when at least Allen's playing, let alone whatever Baker does.
What an absolute ridiculous game. Both teams were so even through to halftime. The scoreline was favouring one team slightly, but in terms of the game, the teams were the same. It was in the second half where it just the Bills ran away with it. But Sean Tucker for the Bucks came out. Bucky Irving on out due to injury. Sean Tucker comes in, and Sean Tucker had a career game for what I think might be his first NFL actual start, as in he's getting the RB1 role. And 19 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. What a day. And then he backed it also up with a receiving touchdown and 34 yards receiving as well. What an absolutely stonking game for Sean Tucker in a game that wasn't even all about the Bucks. The Bucks used a heap of rushes, a heap of different receivers, whereas the Bills, the complete opposite, Matt.
Oh, I'm not happy with that one. I
It's
would have preferred to have,
44-32. What are you telling
I would have preferred to have seen us lose, if I'm honest. The fact that we can't stop the run game is annoying me at this point. And whatever McDermott calls for those zones, we're relying, Benford and stuff aren't that easy yards. If Bucks had Goodwin and Mike Evans, we would have lost that. Easy.
Probably would have been torched, to be honest. Yeah.
Absolutely would have been torched. Like, if you throw those, even Bucky Irving, you throw those 3 pieces back in that Bucks lineup, they would destroy us.
Well, that Sean Tucker receiving touchdown, while we're on that Sean Tucker lot as well, there's no way he should have even gotten in the end zone of that. There were 2 players that basically gave up while he was running down that sideline, and he managed to dance down the sideline and spin his way into it in there. I don't think he even thought he was going to get to the end zone, and suddenly it was open for him. So there's definitely some problems there on the defensive side. Offensively, though, mate, I don't know whether you could really fault the fact that the receiving game actually came alive for the Bills, which is not something you've been known about, considering you don't have what could be considered a number one receiver.
What, Gabe Davis comes back? Is he now our one? Keon Coleman won't see the field probably for the rest of the year, the way he's going.
Apparently it's Terrell Shavers.
What did he do? What did Keon Coleman do? Because he was a healthy scratch.
He was a healthy scratch because he was late to a meeting. He also is not playing next week.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't, you hurt. I don't understand all those, let's hold someone out of a game because they were late to a meeting, especially when the games are this important. You need to probably find a different way to discipline that is not going to hurt you on game day, where it matters.
Yeah, they slotted in McCall Hartman, who I believe is now injured as well. Unfortunately, the pick above Keon Coleman and the pick below Keon Coleman have turned out to be better wide receivers than Keon Coleman.
Marty couldn't get the run game going. It was just 48 yards for James Cook. He's off 16 carries.
Where we can't stop the run, and as it stands at the moment, we're not running the run properly either. And I know everyone wants to give Brady shit because he's not. They're saying he's not giving it to Cook. I believe he's not giving it to Cook because Cook is, as I was saying, the last 2-3 years, he's very 50-50. He's just been paid. I do not see him having an amazing year.
Yep, fair enough.
I didn't like that they decided to pay him more to keep him there.
Yep. 7-3 in the division now. Not a spot anybody thought that the Buffalo Bills would be in the AFC East. Behind New England Patriots. Goddamn Patriots. 5 years in the wilderness, and now they're back again.
Thanks, Drake May. Can you just buzz off?
They were 9-2, so they're 2 games ahead right now.
He's also throwing to nobody as well.
Yeah, that's quite scary. We're going to preview Bills Texans for shortly after we get through reactions tonight. But then you've got the Steelers, the Bengals, before you come up against Drake May and the Patriots again. How are you feeling about those next couple of games, just broadly, mate? Do you think you might be, 2-1 after that?
Have a funny feeling it might be 1-2. I just see where our O-line isn't protecting Allen good enough. That was proof alone in the first quarter where we virtually gifted them that first touchdown.
I don't see how you can lose against the Bengals. So you're telling me you're going to lose against the Texans and the Steelers? That's what your feeling is?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're relying at the moment
go.
on the only secondary that's stepping up for us is Cole Bishop. Our corners are doing nothing. If Nico Collins gets free, we are screwed.
Fair enough.
Ian, that Bengals game, Joe Burrow could be back for that one.
Oh, no,
They've
don't tell me
opened up his
that.
window.
They've
opened up his window.
The window is open, my friend. So,
And Jamar Chase will be ready to go as well after he's had his freaking
Week off.
break.
Mm-hmm.
yep. So it's all looking like roses for Bills fans. Marty Nagel says, "For the love of all things holy, one before I die, go Bills." And I'm pretty sure you could probably echo that sentiment, couldn't you, mate?
Absolutely.
God, Marty, I hope you're young.
It's all right. It'll be my daughter that'll be saying the next freaking same thing
No,
next time.
You can't. You're not allowed to induct them in. Gotta let the kids choose their own teams these days. You can't. We've all seen the vision of that teenage Jets fan, that sad Jets fan outside the stadium a few weeks ago.
Did you see the video of the two kids standing in the kitchen and dining room where the dad turns around and goes, we just traded away sauce.
Yeah.
The kid starts crying and then the other kid goes, that was all we lost, right? And he goes, no. The kid just starts crying.
That teenage
like
kid.
The teenage kid that says, I was born into this. I hate this team. I just hate this team.
He changed the direction of the Jets because then they went on a fire sale and they sold everything to get picks.
Yeah. Let's go to. How about I'll read this one out. I don't know. We can react to this if we want to. Our good mate Kev, the Croc Hunter, Kev Patterson. Bears make the playoffs. Packers lost the Micah trade. Mate, the Bears are leading the NFC North, so that is a pretty obvious statement right now that the Bears are going to make the playoffs. So the NFC North is going to be a hard division to win, but the Bears are in the hot seat right now, and I reckon even if they finish second, they're still making the playoffs.
How are you feeling about that?
I don't really care. Packers lost the Micah trade. Let's go to the second part of that. I don't know. It's too early to call, isn't it, Isaac?
I believe it's too early.
I don't know. I think I kind of agree with him a little bit because the Packers are paying Micah $49 million a year.
It depends if you're judging it on this year. They picked him up when he was already injured too, and
they haven't improved though. Like the Micah trades was there to get them over the line.
Yeah, I still don't think that's because of the defense.
It wasn't. Yeah, but it's not there for them to be the same that they were before the Micah trade. It was to get them in. It was like the Stafford and Goff trade between Detroit and LA. LA got him in to get them over the line to get them to the Super Bowl, and he done it. So this now should be the window where they are going to get to the Super Bowl, and it doesn't look like it.
I'd like to also, how often is Micah getting to a quarterback or applying pressure? He's doing stuff.
Well, in this game, he had 6 tackles. He had 1.5 sacks, is what he's credited for, and 3 QB hits. That's actually more than he's had in other weeks because he's only got 8 sacks total for the year.
I don't think they've lost the trade because of the defense. When they lost, who'd they lose second game in? Second game in.
Which one?
To the shoulder injury.
Offense.
Not Dobbs. Dobbs is still playing.
Was it Reed?
Might have been.
Jalen Reed, yeah.
Yeah. When he landed on that, he was supposed to be one of Love's big receivers gone that second week. And now he's lost Tucker Kraft, his extremely good tight end.
Safety blanket, yeah.
Well, the number one receiver, to be honest. But that's part of the problem. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's defense. I generally don't think it's defense. It's the offense that just haven't fired over the last couple of weeks. They brought it. Luke Musgrave is supposed to be the backup tight end, and they had John Fitzpatrick as well. They got 2 nobodies Luke Musgrave is supposed to be the guy there, and he ends up with one reception for -1 yards.
Musgrave lost that title so quick when Kraft got there, though.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be the back. He's supposed to be behind Kraft, and they were still using him in 13 personnel, like Musgrave was on the field. But it's all Tucker Kraft. This is the Packers organization in a way. You know, you lost Kraft and you had no plan after that.
And their run game's failing as well.
Yeah.
Well,
and
Jacobs is injured now, potentially.
You haven't turned Golden on. Jacobs is injured. Christian Watson is sort of getting some ball, but only the same amount he was getting before he got injured.
And I reckon it's because he was injured. That's 2 injuries in the last 2 seasons to that leg of his, is it not?
The only good part they could really get out of this game is the fact that Josh Jacobs gets injured and Emmanuel Wilson comes in and does a hell of a job.
I must say, though, I was watching a bit of this game, and when Malik Willis come in, he actually looked pretty good.
I don't think he's a bad quarterback at all.
No, I think when he come in for Love, he actually ran the team and looked. I mean, it's only a small sample size compared to Love, but he come in and he run the team and he run the team well, and they ran the ball well when he was in the game.
We did that last year, remember?
Did the same. That's what I was about to say. He did the exact same thing in that 5 or 6 game period last year.
He wasn't in there for long, and he got 2 of 2, like 2 attempts at throwing, and 1 carry out of that too, the 16-yard rush. So people seem to forget, though, they're all going, okay, the Giants scored 20 points on them, but the Giants have been scoring points on teams all season.
That's just a Jameis Winston effect.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, Matty, yeah, give me some Jameis.
Yeah, they've been scoring points all season, especially once Dart came in. And the thing that people are forgetting here now is they fired a coach, so we get the new coach bump, we get the interim coach bump, and Jameis Winston in there, who is going to be the ultimate hype guy for that team and get him. He would have got him pumping before the game, and they came out and scored points early, but then sort of petered off, and that's what happens in any Jameis Winston game. That's the reality of it. It's what it was like last year in Chicago as well. So, not Chicago, in Cleveland as well. So,
Cleveland, yeah.
You know, and that's just what it was. They were going to score points. It was the Packers' ability to score more points. That's the thing that everyone needed to question. And
that's the thing now.
They needed to put them away, not 27-20. They needed to actually run over them.
Yeah, well, Giants are now scoring points. It's not been a thing they've been doing for the last couple of years. And all of a sudden, they've turned it on. Unfortunately, Dart kicked that off.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone that bagged him out for being picked where he was picked is now feeling pretty stupid.
So calm down there, Kev. Just because your Bears are on top doesn't mean you can start ragging on everybody, even though I know you love to rag on the Packers anyway. You would do it even if they were winning.
That's about right.
Tim Straker, Ravens are one and done in the playoffs. Those guards are about as useful as 2 tackle bags out there. I would call them tits on a ball, Tim. That's pretty much what they are. The Ravens are such a weird team. I don't understand the Ravens right now. I would have understood them more if they kept losing, I think.
With the offensive pieces they have, I don't understand how they're losing. I understand that those guards are terrible. I even think the right tackle's not that great at the moment. But you've got Lamar, Henry, Zay, Andrews, and then on the defensive side, you've got Hamilton and the rest of the pieces.
I'm interested to see if he believes the Ravens are going to catch the Steelers and win the division if they're making the playoffs, because I don't think you're getting 2 teams out of the North in the playoffs.
Oh, God, no.
That's an interesting one there, but I think they are going to catch the Steelers. I mean, they've got the Jets this week, so we could see a massive offensive game from the Ravens this week. So it's an interesting watch to see what happens in the North.
And the Ravens, they were getting beat 16-13 at halftime and didn't do anything until midway through the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And you can't be a team that does that every single week.
Broncos?
Yeah. The Broncos are still scoring more points than that and keep it in games. They're winning dirty, but it's like The Ravens seem like the way that their offense is built, they wear teams down, so they're just done by the fourth quarter, and then they score points, and then you score 13 points, which is what gets you over the line. Yeah, it's almost garbage time just to get you over, and now you're 5-5. So, what are you? This is exactly what Isaac
Would
is saying.
they have been?
Yeah.
And what's
Would they
confusing
have
the
been
shit out of me?
higher? Would they have been higher if Lamar had been playing the whole time?
I don't know. See, this is what's confusing me about them because
I don't think they would be.
they're still not looking great the last couple of weeks with Lamar back. It's just not. It wasn't fantastic against the Vikings, and it wasn't great against today. You know, the Vikings shot themselves in the foot at home against the Ravens. They were basically handed that game for most of it, and then just couldn't do anything. And then the Ravens again wore them down, late third quarter, fourth quarter, destroyed them. That's what happened in the second half, and it's the same as this game. And then they've got, what are they, 5-5, and the Bengals are 3-7, somehow keeping in games and almost winning games. Getting Joey Burrow back at Thanksgiving might actually be. I think that's the only reason he's coming back, is what I've seen too, Isaac, is the fact that they're still in the division.
Well, yeah, they're still in it, but it's a massive job for him to get them to the playoffs. And back to Matt's question, if Lamar would have made any difference, like you said, probably not, because they in that 4-game stretch when he was out, they played the Lions, the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Rams. Three of those teams are really good, and then the Texans are there as well. But I still think they win the division, to be honest.
Well, they've got to verse what? The Bengals and the Steelers.
So they've got the Bengals twice, the Steelers twice. Yeah. And they've got the Jets. They've got the Pats and the Packers in there, so they're going to be difficult games as well. So it'll get them ready for the playoffs, if anything.
Yeah.
But at this point, are you relying on, if Joe Burrow isn't back, are you relying on somebody to get to the old men in Flacco and Rodgers before they can hit anybody? Considering Flacco's got T and Jamar, which he has been hitting both. DK Metcalf is still going to be a vital piece.
The way that Bengals defense plays, it could be anything. Like, it could be a 50 to 53. So, yeah.
Yep. We did have an actual reaction there from our mate Damien, our Commanders fan mate Damien. I should have probably read that at the top when we were talking about the Commanders, so I'll just read that out now. Commanders can't get any traction. Best hope is to stay third. Would love to say win out and finish 9-8, but extremely doubtful. I think that is at the moment too, because at this point, like, leave Jaden Daniels out, essentially.
I was about to say, don't play him for the rest of the year.
Yeah, just 100%. Don't play.
Tell Mariota he's got to do something. I don't understand how Mariota has a contract, but that's not for me to decide.
Yeah. There's another one there that links into that, Ian, if you want to read that one out.
I can. Which one are we talking about?
For you.
Yeah, Giants will finish ahead of Washington in the NFC East. Who's that from? Our good man, Fat Man Punts. That's right, Nick Cosme. I'm going to have to make that handle before someone else does, because I don't think Nick's going to actually go out and do it. But,
and it's fat with a PH.
PH, of course it is, at Fat Man Punts. If you can imagine him just getting out there with his clock necklace, giving it some fat stuff. So,
yeah, I think the Commanders are in deep trouble. Like with the Giants, they're actually in games, as where the Commanders, unless they're playing Miami in Spain, are not in games at all.
Yeah, I don't see them finishing anywhere but last in that.
No,
in that little thing.
Neither do I.
Cowboys are shit, but I think it's a 2-horse race in that. It's Eagles and Giants, and unfortunately, Eagles are that first horse anyway. It's a battle for whoever gets to go below them.
Well, they're pretty close at the moment, the Giants to the Commanders, and I don't know. It could be At the moment, the Giants could finish ahead of the Cowboys. So
Ooh.
let's
Depending on if Dart decides he still wants to get himself smacked around every week, because that's his only other downside is that he's too busy running the ball and taking hits that he probably shouldn't.
yeah. But that's,
Sounds a lot like what Will Levis was doing the last couple of years.
he only
They're
needs. They only need to get 2 more wins out of the rest of the season to surpass that, though. So
No, they should be all right then.
should be fine. Let's go quickly through the most surprising thing this season. That happened this week. This week. It probably is this season for Panthers fans. What, Isaac? What exactly did the Panthers give to Bryce when he went into that blue tent? He went in there at halftime or around. He came back out just after halftime. He went in there injured. He came back out after halftime, and he was a different dude.
Yeah, it kind of all clicked for him, didn't it? Ted McMillan really showed up for him. Like, if they can keep that connection going, they're in contention for the South.
Yeah. 31 of 45. Sorry, Matt. 31 of 45. 448 yards and
Crazy.
3 touchdowns. That is, he took 5 sacks still. So
That's franchise record. Wow.
yeah, it's unbelievable. I thought Rico Dowdle was going to have another game in this one against the Falcons, and he did nothing basically. It was all Tet, and even Xavier Legette got in on the action, and I think 83 yards might be his highest total so far in the past 2 seasons.
And Jalen Coker had a decent game as well. So you got 3 options there, as well as actually the tight end that came in, and he got that reception that got him in field goal distance in overtime.
Yeah.
So the whole offense kind of clicked, and I'm hoping it's a turning point for Bryce Young, really, and the Panthers team.
It has to be.
So I think
for Bryce Young especially, it has to be, because I don't see how Bryce Young survives in that team at all if he keeps playing the way he has been. It has to be some kind of turning point. Well, he did this last year too. He played good towards the end of the season.
Yeah. Once he gets,
it was a lot later though.
Well, they were out already, Matt.
Yeah.
I think me and Ian in our reaction show last year kept saying, like, they're just playing around with the lineups. They'll be better next year. This is just a thing to get them, see what they can do, and they didn't mind losing games and then go from there. And
they're not out now.
One thing on this game, thank God the Falcons are still losing, baby, because that Rams pick next year is getting higher and higher.
Hey,
You're guilty.
And on the Rams, Penix went out with what we now know is a concussion. Cousins came in and did a serviceable job. I don't understand Kirk Cousins anymore. You definitely took him out of a system that was favourable.
Yep.
But yeah, apart from that, mate, Drake London had a great game. Bijan had an okay game. I don't understand the Falcons. Yeah, I said I don't understand. I'm confused about who the Ravens are. I am still constantly confused about who the Falcons are, and the only thing I can put it down to now, it's not talent, because they're not talent deficient. Between Penix, Bijan, you can count Algier in there as well. Drake London, Darnell Mooney is okay. Pitts we've always known Pitts was supposed to be something, but he's never been something. He's always been hamstrung. And who's he always been hamstrung by? The coach. And I can only put this down to coaching now. It has to be coaching. And
but they weren't using Bijan very much in the last 2 weeks either.
I don't understand the Falcons. Even their defense is amazing. Talent wise should be amazing. It has to be coaching. That's all it is right now.
Morris has got to go.
And at 3-7, his presser, man, he sounded like a coach that was that's going to be gone. Like he knows it. Writing's 100% on the wall.
Yeah,
they did well drafting those 2 edge rushers. Those 2 boys have come out and been absolutely amazing. It's everything that's back from that.
Yeah, they certainly didn't do well given their first round pick to the Rams. That's for sure. Glenn Baker just on this game. Panthers, great win. Bryce proving he can get it done in the air with some better play calling and confidence from his head coach. Set a franchise record, as Isaac pointed out as well. Panthers on the heels of the Bucks do have a tough remaining schedule, though. Bring on Niners next week. They do. They've probably got one of the hardest schedules in that division, but they are 6-5, slightly behind the Bucks, who have the tiebreak over them at the moment.
Yeah. So what they can't do, the Panthers, they lose to the bloody Saints last week. That's if they'd won that game, they'll be level with the Bucks right now.
Yeah.
So they're the games you can't lose.
Exactly.
The layups. But anyway, obviously not a layup.
Is McMillan what they were expecting Leggett to be last year?
No, he's better. He's better than what they expected Leggett to be.
Yeah, but I feel like that slot that they took him in, that's what they wanted Leggett to be all of last year. McMillan's been great all season.
Mm.
Funnily enough, he's turned into their Adam Thielen. Does catch the ball. Leggett drops them.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just gonna quickly skip over the next one from Brett.
Do you want me to read it out?
Well,
Okay.
Vikings did what Vikings do. Chiefs look like it's dynasty over. Just when you write the Dolphins off, they go back to back in an all crazy season. Yes, we've talked about the other stuff, Brett. Vikings did what the Vikings do. It wasn't a great game, and that's down to what it is. There was some horrible play calling. There wasn't some great offensive play. Some of the offense just isn't turning up. There's another game now where Justin Jefferson is disgruntled and doesn't seem to be turning up for plays all the time. Hawkinson's dropping balls. Addison dropped sitters in this one. It looked like they were going to go down the field and certainly got ahead with 45 seconds to go. And if it wasn't for the fact that the defense couldn't even stop a kick or kickoff return, then Vikings would have won this game against the Bears, and that's just a pure fact because the Bears didn't play great in it either. So neither team played that great as a whole. And it was only the fact that Stonky was a 56-yard kick return with 40 seconds to go, set them up to kick a field goal easily within field goal range, which they shouldn't have even been near. That ball should have gone out the back of the end zone. They should have started at 20 or whatever it is, 25 these days. It's just... And when that kick got caught in bounds, the look on Kevin O'Connell's face said it all. I think that one was meant to go out. And then, after that return, the look on his face, that you could tell he was pretty pissed. But yeah, there's a lot to work on. There's a lot to do. They need to do some... In all honesty, they need to do some soul searching and figure out why players on that team aren't turning up. Why week to week, in between games, they will say that they have the backs of their brothers and that they're there for JJ and they believe in him and all this sort of shit. But when they get out on the field, that they don't show that outwardly. The two things are at a juxtaposition right now, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't work as a team. So, in all honesty, fourth in the division, a high draft pick, which we shouldn't have been at. Said last year that we shouldn't have been in 11. We were never going to be. We were very rarely going to ever be there again. And it looks like we're probably going to be up there again. So, all they can do now is go for a high draft pick and actually draft some goddamn O-line and figure it out from there.
How are you feeling about JJ?
Oh, he's okay.
In all honesty, because when I was first on, we spoke about the fact that he has had one good quarter in 2 games.
Yeah. And now, he's 5 games deep into an NFL season. Yeah. That's it. That's pretty much all it is. It's 2 seasons. You can't help that he got injured last year. You look at the amount of people getting injured now. It is what it is when you're a professional athlete. You just your body's so on edge, so you can get injured at any point. So he can't help that. He had the right attitude whilst he was injured. He learnt things. He was all team, and he's still got a way to go. He's got some good balls that he can throw. There are some really good throws. He's got some good balls, Isaac.
It was in my head.
I didn't even need to look at you to know that you were thinking it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, there are some stonking throws he does, especially like absolute bullets over the middle. The one Addison dropped, I can't believe. It was a sitter. There was one JJ dropped in the end zone as well. Jefferson dropped in the end zone as well. That was, again, they were ridiculous throws over the middle. But yeah, he'll come along. The problem is, he's like all these quarterbacks now, where they play so little in college, and nothing changed. Like they get stuck in a system in college. And it's the way college is, that they don't develop in college and then come to the pros anymore. They get picked up for perceived talent, and then you've got to develop them. So and we see that now. You look at, and I have to point it out, you look at Baker and Sam and all the guys. The guys around their era, they're all only just coming on now. You know, Mac Jones, yeah, exactly. You said their talent is only just being realised now. That's how long it's taken them to develop.
Yeah.
So he'll be all right, but I don't know. The Vikings are going to be, well, we've waited 50 years now before going to any kind of the heights. So what is it? You're going to just keep waiting more. That's all. Last year was lucky. And I don't know.
I think last year was a good section of your defense doing what they needed to do.
And some Vikings fans now, today especially, my God, the American Vikings fan pages are just doing me in. Some are saying, "Oh, we've wasted a year of Brian Flores again," and I'm like, "Do you really think he's going to go anywhere?" The NFL as a whole has tarnished that man with a brush, which means he's probably not going to get a head coaching job ever again. So he's not going anywhere. Yeah.
He's not exactly doing bad either.
No, he's still getting paid millions of dollars to be a defensive coordinator and getting lauded over about the fact that he's just a brilliant defensive mind. So, yeah, you're better than a lot of people in the world. Anyway, we need to move on. This is why
we could be here for hours if we keep
This is why I wanted to skip over this.
Wind him up.
Brett, I'm going to run through some of these. Sorry, guys. Bren Goffin, Cardinals suck, blow it up and start again. Yes. All I can say is yes.
Shout out to Bren if you're a Cardinals fan. You need a shout out on this podcast.
So, yes.
They suck.
I think they need a mental health check.
Our mate
and a hug.
Our mate Jack, Chargers forgot their batteries. Well done, Jack. Coming with the Jack's just hitting us with the
puns.
The puns and the good quotes. Excellent. Love it. Michael Elliott, a bit of everything in here. Green Bay aren't contenders. Philly will win the NFC, but the tush push still blows. Correct. Denver will win their division. Yep, we talked about that. Chicago are good? Question mark. Yep, I think we're all questioning that. I think the division's just bad, to be honest. It's funny that we've gone from the best division in football to one that is possibly going to be the worst again now.
Yeah, prior to the season starting, I said to my mate, because he's Green Bay. I've got a Green Bay and a bloody Bears fan. I turn to both of them and say, you guys are playing in the hardest division because all of you guys seem to just want to kill each other.
Yes, correct.
And it's good to watch, but this year it's just been nothing. It's gone downhill.
Seattle are one-dimensional. I don't know if I agree with that, and can't keep up with the Rams. That bit I'm leaning towards. I think the Rams showed this week that they are probably the best team in the NFL right now. We talk all week about the fact that Matt Stafford was MVP worthy and total MVP worthy, but this Rams team is looking. Isaac, I reckon they look better than your Super Bowl winning team, where that was pieced together by guys you basically bought in. That's no secret. Paid a lot of guys. This team has been built, and I reckon it looks more complete. You've got a defense which are incredibly young, so they're going to be around together for a long time, unless they all ask for a lot of money at once. But this is a crazy, crazy team. Easily the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, it seems that way at the moment. And the most surprising thing in that is the defense. The defense was not meant to be this good, and they are. And they're young, and they're hungry, and they are like what they did to Darnold on the weekend. Look, in saying that though, the bloody Seahawks stayed around and they had a field goal to win it. And if he nailed that field goal, we were done. So, yeah, the other one in there, Chicago are good, question mark. I think Chicago are lucky, not good. But, yeah, other than that, I agree with everything he says. Maybe the Philly winning the NFC, it'll come down to them and the Rams, I believe.
I think the Rams will take it.
Yeah.
If you've got to pit defense against defense, I'm taking the Rams' defense. I love those, and I'm saying this based on the fact of that front four that the Rams have. How often is Verse getting to a quarterback at the moment?
Oh, Verse is amazing. Jesus Christ,
I
isn't
think
he good?
he's one of the best defensive edges that are there now.
Yeah.
And Fisk on the other side, who is only bolstering what he's doing, and then the whole center of that is just great.
Yep.
What you need a little bit of help in your secondary, and I think that's about it.
Well, the secondary showed up on the weekend, so
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Last one in there. Dylan Gabriel is a better choice than Shador for now, says Matt David. So says myself and Brad as well. He was from the beginning of the season, Isaac. And we are definitely going to be chatting about that water bet when we get to a preview show where all four of us are on again. Because that is coming down to the skinny end of the season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Gabriel, went out with a concussion. What we now know again is a concussion. Shador came in and didn't look.
His first throw was great.
Well, he's got
Everything
the lowest
that
ever player rating in the history of the NFL.
4 of 16 for 47 yards.
One interception.
Took 2 sacks, 1 interception. And
Miles
people were
Garrett
saying, again, American NFL fans, man. People are saying, getting in there now and saying that, they've screwed him over. He didn't take any first-team reps. Hello, backups don't take first-team reps during the season. That is just a fact in every single NFL team ever. But what they do is they prepare. They're supposed to prepare for the team that they're playing, just in case they have to come in, because they are a backup. So
you should know exactly what you're throwing into. You should know exactly what you need to do, because unfortunately you're studying the exact same shit that Dylan Gabriel's studying.
Mm-hmm. So
you should be coming in and doing the exact same thing.
If Gabriel is in concussion protocol, which he will be, Shador will get the start against the Raiders next week. So
that'll be a poo slinger.
And then I can't. If he does that badly against the Raiders of all teams, Max Crosby might kill him.
I was about to say, how many times is Matt Crosby going to kill him before they go, oh shit, we got to put somebody else in? Who else do we have?
Crosby may kill him.
It'll be a QB death match. Like, who dies first, Shador Sanders or Geno Smith?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
it's between Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. This is going to be
Myles Garrett and Crosby before the game. So can we put a little wager here on who kills whose quarterback first?
So at the moment, third string quarterback is nobody. It's Deshaun Watson. It's the only other QB left on the roster. After having 5 at the beginning of the season, they now down to 2. 1, actually. So Shador Sanders is the only fully healthy quarterback on the roster right now. He's going to get started against the Raiders. You would have to imagine that he's not. If he plays this badly, he's going to. Gabriel's going to get the starts again.
At least if the Saints lose their quarterbacks, they can just stick Taysom Hill in there.
So there is only 7 games left of the season for the Cleveland Browns, so Isaac.
Water time.
Lucky
it's summer.
It's going to be, mate. Because so far, Gabriel's started 5 games.
Oh. Shit happens.
This is what happens when you trade away Flacco. Pack of idiots.
No. The water bet was that Gabriel was going to start more games than Shador. So,
Oh, what?
I went with Shador.
yeah.
Yep.
Uh, that was an interesting decision.
It was.
Mhm.
All right, let's get on. Let's get on to a preview real quick. We need to preview a Week 12 game, a Thursday night game against the Bills and the Texans, and that's of course what Matt's joining us for, not just to chat about football in general, which I know he loves. It's to also talk about his Bills. We've heard a little bit about the Bills already from Matt, but against the Texans, mate, who are 5-5. In their division right now, 3-2 at home. Of course, we're going down to Houston to play this game. How are we feeling about the Bills' chances against the Texans as a whole? Texans haven't been great week in, week out lately, but they've been getting slightly better on defense, especially.
That's because they've been allowing Stroud to get absolutely murdered. Their O-line has disappeared.
Yeah. So how are you feeling
But in saying that,
how are you feeling about your Bills against the Texans this week?
I think it'll be another high-scoring close game. Unfortunately, we're putting way too much on Josh Allen's shoulders to do something. And I said it in a Bills group not too long ago because they were all insulting the offense, and I turned around and was like, you can only insult the offense so much when you've got to try to go back against any points that are scored against you. Second, you're down by 1 or 2 touchdowns, your whole play calling will change. And you're running more risks. You're doing things that are silly. Our defense will probably let the Texans run away with it. I just have a feeling it's going to be high scoring, same as the Bucs. Schultz, Collins, I think they're going to have a field day. Unfortunately, we're relying on Cole Bishop to stand up like he has been the last 3 weeks. And then Allen to go absolutely crazy again.
Isaac, the Texans played 2 very close divisional games over the last couple of weeks. They had an almighty shootout against the Jags where they won 36-29 and then just scraped home against the bottom feeder Titans 16-13. I don't know whether they are the best games you could possibly prepare for the Bills against for the Texans.
No, I don't think so. And will it come down to if CJ Stroud's playing or Davis Mills? I don't know. I don't think there's been any update on that yet. But the matchup to watch this one for is Josh Allen versus the Houston defense. That Houston defense is really, really good. And to see what Josh Allen can cook up against them is going to be interesting to watch. They really need, like it happened a couple of weeks ago, against the Chiefs, they really need James Cook to fire. If James Cook doesn't fire, then I think they're in for a long afternoon. If CJ Stroud plays. If they're playing against Davis Mills, I think the Bills will run away with it. Like the comparison between Mills and CJ Stroud is unbelievable. As you can see by they only just beat the Tennessee Titans. So the matchup I'm looking forward to is Josh Allen versus that Houston defense.
Well, CJ Stroud didn't practice today, Monday in the States, for their Week 12 matchup. So he was out with a concussion, didn't practice this Monday, which means it's a short week. He's likely to not be played, take the field against the Texans. So it looks like Davis Mills is already preparing as QB1 for this match against the Bills. So that could be very interesting. Not that Mills has been playing badly though. But yeah, mate, I'm with you. That's the matchup that I'm watching too will be Josh Allen and the Bills offense against that Texans defense, who similarly, like your Rams, are a very young defense, very talented. They just they're finally they're starting to get it together.
Yep.
Are they relying too much on Anderson and Daniil Hunter?
Oh, Daniil Hunter has been
defense?
Daniil Hunter's been sensational this season though. You cannot fault Daniil.
That's what I mean. Like that defensive end, like their defense in general. I feel like they're relying too much on Anderson and Hunter to get to a quarterback rather than seeing what their secondary can do.
Well, I don't think it's just that either. Daniil Hunter's been amazing for them, I guess, as a defensive leader. He's been one of the guys out on the field, just sort of steering that ship as well, using all of his knowledge. So he's been amazing.
I rate Daniil Hunter as an edge, even before he joined the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I always did. I loved him as a Viking.
I was going to say you would have liked him as a Viking.
Yeah, loved Daniil Hunter. I have a Daniil Hunter jersey, so absolutely loved Daniil Hunter when he was on the Vikings. Very sad to see Hunter be one of the guys that we did end up letting go. So I think it'll be a really interesting matchup. I do think if the Texans defense can stifle the Bills offense, we will see another shootout for sure. Even if it is Davis Mills at quarterback. He hasn't been, like I said, he hasn't been playing badly. He's been playing efficient offense.
They're not. It's no real long throws. It's that short to mid game, which against Buffalo will be great.
Yep. And I think you can liken it to their game against the Jags, where he threw for nearly 300 yards. They had him throw like 45 times. Yeah, and
they had to, right? Because they were down big.
Yeah,
so they
exactly.
Had to throw.
And I think I think you'll see the same again. I think it will be a shootout. And that's what I mean. I think you can liken it to that game because I think the Bills and the Jags in that way will play them similar, like the same. So, I think that's where we'll find a lot of that game will go. And I think that's how you'll find Davis Mills will play. And it's going to be fun to watch.
It's a big game for both in terms of playoff ramifications.
It's a must-win for both teams.
Yeah.
I understand that we're 7-3, but
you have to because you're two behind the Broncos, and then obviously the Broncos have got their. Oh, sorry, you're two behind the Pats.
Patriots.
So the Pats being that far ahead, you've got to do that to keep pace with them, so that when you get to that Patriots game, you can try and really take that tiebreak properly.
I have a funny feeling when we get to that Pats game, I think that Gabe Davis and Josh Allen synergy will be completely back if he doesn't get injured again.
Because momentum's a real thing too. And the Patriots are up against the Bengals this week, and then they got the Giants before they get to that Bills game. So they're going to have, in essence, two easier games to go against. So two easier teams to go up against. Whereas I think the Bills playing in these harder fought games might prepare them a bit more for the showdown against the Patriots that they're going to have to win in a couple of weeks. But yes, I think it's must-win territory for the Bills as well at 7-3. It's definitely must-win territory for the Texans at 5-5. There's no doubt about that because they are sitting third in the division, a game behind the Jags, so it's 3 behind the Colts. So if they really want to do more with this season, that's where they need to be. Otherwise, you may as well just float at the bottom with Titans. All right, cool. Thanks, Matt, for joining us again.
Thanks for having me, man.
To talk ball. Absolutely love it, mate. Love having you on. So always cool to get people on. If anyone wants to check out anything to do with us or the network, Linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network is where it's at. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please jump over to YouTube and check everything out there. Like, subscribe on the YouTube feed. Comment on those videos as well. Just give us a g'day or tell us what you think about the week or any of your reactions there. That'd be awesome if you put some comments on there. We have been getting a ton of hits on YouTube lately, so we're definitely getting some more eyeballs. So that's been awesome for everybody helping us out there. So please keep pushing that. That really helps the entire network. You will hear Isaac's lovely voice on the fantasy show this week with Maddie and Taylor on Aussie NFL Fantasy. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to love to see how you go against the boys in Tipping Point on Friday, mate. Before we hit our regular Saturday preview show for week 12, where we'll bring you the games that we think you should watch, or the ones we want to watch. There's going to be some interesting games to pick from this week, that's for sure. And obviously, we'll be previewing Panthers 49ers for Monday Night Football as well. All right. Until Saturday, see you later.
Bye.